I have got a couple stretches for you for the wrists and the forearms. Maybe if you've been experiencing some stiffness in the hands from using a keyboard at work, or really any job that you're on your hands using the wrists so often, or from working out, maybe using the dumbbells, barbells, deadlifting. Sometimes we start to get the pain and stiffness in the forearms. So there are some stretches that you can do to improve that. It's also going to help with the flexibility. So if you're working on front squats or cleans where you need to let the fingers pull down pretty far with that barbell, then this is going to help to get those elbows up with that wrist mobility and flexibility. So a couple simple ones here that you can do. Just extending one arm out in front. So starting with the left here, we'll point the fingers up to the sky and you pull back gently on the fingers. Now the harder you pull on the fingers, the more intense the stretch is going to be. And we're just holding here, keeping that arm out straight. And then when you're ready, pointing the fingers down. So the left hand turns down to the floor, pull the fingers back. You'll feel this stretch up through the forearm here as well. And then switching sides. So extending the right arm out, fingers are up to the sky. Go ahead and pull the fingers back so you can see here from the side. Trying to relax the rest of the body here. Don't have the shoulders up towards the ears. Let the shoulders relax down. Turn the fingers down on that right hand. Go ahead and pull back. Then we'll take the hands out in front. Go ahead and lace the fingers, and you're just pushing the hands out in front. You've probably done this one before. So you can just push the fingers into the hands. And maybe coming back up through, push the fingers towards you. Now the next one is a little trickier. It's okay if you can't go the whole way. I don't think I can either. We're gonna wrap the arms starting, so you're just crossing one arm on top of the other. So we start with the backs of the hands together, and then you start to rotate the hands so that you can clasp the hands, so the palms are touching, okay? From there, you take the hands clasped and you start to bring them down, and you're rotating them up towards you. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Maybe you just come to here. Or if you can pull the hands all the way through, maybe you can extend. So that feels a little funky, but it's a good stretch here in the wrists. Forearms too. Even if you're just right here, that's okay. Just holding it. And then exhale, release. Nice. So the next one, we're just clasping the hands here once again. So holding the hands in close. All we're doing for this one is rotating the wrists like you're making a figure eight. So hands are just clasped in front, making a little figure eight. This is a pretty simple one that you can do anywhere. So if you're sitting at your desk at work, need to loosen up the wrists a little bit, this is one you can do. Now you should be able to reverse. That's always tricky for me. Reverse the figure eight. Here, my wrist's cracking. All right. You can do that there as long as you like. And then, one of my favorites, you'll have to come down to the floor for this unless you've got like a chair or table you could do this on. But you're gonna bring the hands down in front of you, and I try to bring my fingertips so that they're pointing towards me. So my hands are rotated the whole way around, so my fingers are pointing towards my knees. If you can't rotate your hands the whole way around, that's okay. Go as far as you can. So if we start with the hands forward, maybe you turn them to the side, maybe a little bit further, maybe you come the whole way around, okay? Wherever you're at here. And we just walk the knees back a little bit. So it's like you're in a table pose here, but the fingertips are not facing forward, okay? Arms are straight and extended. And then we start to lean back. Ooh, and you'll feel that up through the forearms. Real good. The further back you pull the hips, the deeper the stretch. So if you've been practicing yoga and you're holding these plank poses or working on arm balances, stretching out the wrists like this is really important. Spending all that time on your hands and wrists, it does start to get painful, especially if you're new to it. But the more you practice and the more you stretch like this here, you're building up that strength and flexibility, so it does get better. I believe some of these stretches are stretches that a doctor or physical therapist would give you for carpal tunnel as well. It relieves some of that pain and tension in the wrists. Now, of course, you can hold all of these longer if you would like to. I didn't want to spend too much time. That way you could just get through the video and see all of the options here. Nothing too crazy, just some simple stretches. Once again, for this one, if it's too much, you can be here with the hands to the side, maybe slightly turned out, but you do want to work on twisting those hands around a little bit more the more you do this, okay? You want to see that flexibility in the wrists increase. You can even do a little side-to-side action here if you like. And it's totally okay to incorporate these every day in your practice. Go ahead and release. I like to come onto the knuckles after that. You can even roll the hands forward. So I'm on the tops of my hands here. My fingertips are still facing me, but again, if you're out to the side, that's fine too. And this one, I'm just a little bit more gentle, because it can be pretty intense rolling on the hand like that. This forward and back motion here. When I send my hips back, it really deepens that stretch. Now this one might look familiar, and if you've got the flexibility in the hamstrings, you can actually come up and stand on the hands here. Now it's not usually that you're coming into it from this position, but if you're standing in a forward fold, you can slide the hands under the feet here, which would look like this. And we walk the toes up to the wrists. If you lean forward and back, you can feel that little massage in the hands. All right. So I hope that helps. You can work on these wrist stretches every day, a couple times a day if you want, as long as you want, but definitely incorporate those somehow, and you should experience some relief from the wrist pain, forearm pain. It's also good, even if you're not experiencing pain, just to stretch those areas out. It will improve on your forearm strength and grip too. So, thanks. Good luck.